think preparing for Christ's return means growing in spiritual maturity. I know you guys had a study on Thursday night, and I know you guys are working on something, our young adults, and man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited because I know there's going to be growth in that. We have to be prepared, right? That's what a culture of discipleship looks like. Churches should emphasize things like Bible study and prayer and accountability and mentorship so that we can equip believers for holy living. I think it's important. But discipleship is much more than a once-a-week Bible study. I was listening to With the Perrys podcast. You guys get a chance? Great podcast. With the Perrys. And the guy was talking about a story you find in the book of Luke chapter 5. Early in the book of Luke, you find this story where Jesus is preaching. And it says the crowds begin to press into him. And it says as they press into him, he steps back onto a boat with two of the disciples. And he preaches the word to all of these people, gives the word to all of these people. And then he looks at the disciples and he says, push us out to the deep. And then he has them cast their nets, and the story says that they bring in all the fish so much that it's breaking the nets, and they got to bring in more people, and they got to, you know what I mean? But here's what I catch in this story. Here's what was said in this podcast. He says, look, we can minister to the crowds. I can get up here as a pastor. You can get into a Bible study group with a crowd, and as you press in, right, you're going to get so much. But he says that Jesus tells the two in the boat, let's push out deeper. So while I might minister to the crowds, my prayer this coming year is that God would give me somebody I could push out deeper with, that I could disciple, that I could spend more time with. Not just a Sunday, not just a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Thursday or whatever day of the week we do Bible studies, right? I want to push out deeper with somebody. Church, if you've been living for the Lord for a long period of time, you ought to desire to have somebody in your life you could push out deeper with. That's a culture of discipleship.